Hey everybody! Welcome to this week's IlluminUte Devotional. My name is Colin, and here are your illuminating minutes of illumination. Hey, so I've got a son. His name is Liam. He's almost 4 months old already, which is crazy. So one of my favorite things to do with Liam is read books. And of course he doesn't read yet, but he loves to look at the pictures. And our favorite book currently is a book called The Pout Pout Fish. Now, I'm not sure if you're familiar with this book. I wasn't until I had a son and we started reading books together. But this is a story about someone called Mr. Fish who calls himself a pout pout fish because he's got a pout pout face. And the reason for his pout pout face is so he can spread the dreary wearies all over the place. And he's got other friends named Miss Clam and Mr. Octopus and Mrs. Squid. And all of his friends see him and they're like, Mr. Fish, I wish you wouldn't scowl so much. Mr. Fish, I wish you wouldn't greet us with a grimace and a growl. Mr. Fish, you're a kaleidoscope of mope. How about a smile? Mr. Fish, your hokey bulky sulking is an unattractive trait. So all of his friends are telling him to smile. They're saying, I wish you wouldn't frown so much. I wish you wouldn't pout. And Mr. Fish is like, I can't help it. I'm a pout pout fish. Now, of course, we learn about attitudes in this book. But there's something about his friends here that are not being really helpful for Mr. Pout Pout Fish. Mr. Fish, I should say. So at the end of the story, there's a silent silver shimmer, a fish who has never been seen before. And she doesn't talk to Mr. Fish. She doesn't complain that he's pouting or tell him to smile. But she instead plants a kiss upon his pout pout face. And then Mr. Fish is like, wow, I'm not a pout pout fish, I'm a kiss fish. I can be happy. I can use my pout for something good. So, what am I trying to say? Of course, this month in our IlluminUte devotionals, we're talking about encouragement. And a lot of times we think of encouragement as words that we share with somebody else. However, we find in this book, Pout Pout Fish, that sometimes words aren't the only thing we need for encouragement. And I wouldn't call what Mr. Fish's friends were doing for him encouragement. It's not always our job to tell somebody to smile, to tell somebody to feel good, to tell somebody to turn that frown upside down. That's not really encouragement, because that didn't help Mr. Pout Pout Fish. He was just still pouting. He was, of course, his attitude could have used adjusting, but his friends weren't being very helpful for him with their words. But this silent silver swimmer, all she had to do was plant a kiss upon his face. Certainly, I'm not telling you that you should go around kissing everybody who's sad. You could get in trouble for doing that. But what I am saying is when you are aiming to encourage somebody else, sometimes words aren't enough. Sometimes words don't help at all. But your presence, your affection, your willingness to show somebody else that you are there and you can listen, or even if you don't listen, you're just there. Just being there for somebody else, not trying to change them, not trying to convince them that they're being mopey or pouty, not trying to tell them to do something different. Just be there for them and show them that you care. That's sometimes all that is necessary. So a verse that I have to share with you, Romans chapter 12, verse 9 and 10, says this: Love should be shown without pretending. Hate evil and hold on to what is good. Love each other like the members of your family. Be the best at showing honor to each other. So again, It's not always words. You don't always have to tell somebody to change or to be happy. You don't always have to have that perfect combination of encouraging words to make somebody feel better. That's too much pressure sometimes on ourselves, and that puts a lot of pressure on the person you're trying to cheer up to. But instead, don't pretend in your love. Show love to other people. Show care, show affection, just like you're showing love to members of your family. Be there for them. Care with your presence. And who knows, you might change somebody from being Pout Pout person to a kiss person. Again, we're not condoning you just going around and kissing anybody you see. Be there for someone. That's encouraging. All right, that's this week's IlluminUte. I hope to see you next week. Thanks for joining me. Toodaloo.